If you're looking to buy a Cybertruck, or if you already have one, you'll come to find out that the weakest accessory that actually comes with the truck are these floor mats. They're really thin, they're very rough and scratchy, and they don't give you any protection for spills or water. It's actually one of the accessories that I would recommend that you switch out right away. But once you make that decision, you have to decide, do you get the all-weather floor mats or do you get carpet? Well, with the liners that I'm going to show you in this video today by 3W, you don't have to make that decision because it actually comes with both. And because the bottom layer is always there, you're always going to be protected from liquids. And we're not just going to be showing you the front floor mats, I've actually got the whole floor mat kit. We've got the vault liner, we've got the front liner, we've got the two front liners with the inserts, the rear liners with the carpeted inserts, and we've also got the rear sub-trunk liner. So me being in Colorado Springs, it's actually quite cold and can be a little snowy for most of the year. So for me, I actually need all-weather floor mats for most of that time. The ground gets really slushy because of all the snow, and then when you step in it, you get into your car and you transfer all that yuck onto your floor mats. But then once all the snow melts and it gets nice and warm out, you really don't have to worry about all the all-weather floor mats, and that's where the carpeted inserts come in. Me actually coming from Florida, when it gets hotter out, I actually like to wear some flip-flops, and then I take those flip-flops off when I'm driving my car, and I like a nice carpeted feel. So I'm going to be going over everything that you need to know about all these floor mats. We're going to see how they fit, how they feel. I'm going to use them for a little bit, and then I'll let you know whether or not I think they're worth your time. All right, so first we're going to take a look at the front floor mats. And as far as the weight goes, these aren't really heavy, but they do have a rubbery type feel to them. I also really like the texturing. It's got kind of like a rubbery type grip to it. And it also has these little nubs on the bottom portion here, and that's what keeps the carpeted insert into place. If we take a look at the back, you can see it's got these little kind of spikes on the bottom, and that also helps keep the floor mat in place as well. It's got a really cool design to it. It's got the Cybertruck logo on the left side here. This is the driver's side floor mat, and then here we have the passenger side. We also have the same Cybertruck on the other side along with those little nubs, and it does seem to have a pretty good lip on the side to help keep liquids and everything inside the floor mat as well. And then here we have the carpet insert. Feels nice and soft. It seems to be pretty thick, a lot thicker than the one that comes with the Cybertruck itself. On the bottom of the mat, it's got kind of like this rubbery type surface, so it should be very easy to clean. And the way that you actually put this on the floor mat is you just put it over the two little nubs. You can kind of feel it go into place, and then you just press it down and you can actually hear it click. So the part where you put your feet, you actually have the nice carpet, and then on the top here we still have the nice all-weather mat. And then for the driver's side, it's almost like the passenger, but at the top here, we actually get this really nice little extra cushiony part. And if you're not wearing shoes or anything like that, and you happen to, rest the ball or the heel of your foot on here, it's actually got a really nice soft feel to it, and you'll have less fatigue with this portion here versus the rest of the mat. But it still does feel nice and soft and cushy. And again, just put that over the little nubs and then press it into place, and you're all set. As far as any smell goes, I don't really smell any rubbery type smells that might make you, sick. Some people are super sensitive to that, but with these floor mats, I don't have that smell, which some of the other cheaper floor mats do. All right, so first let's install our front passenger floor mat. We'll take out the Tesla floor mat. You can see it's super cheap. Now you can very easily put these in, kind of put this up on the top, and lay down the rear. And it's fit perfectly for the passenger side here. And if we take a closer look at the mats here, you can see it does have a nice rubber piece that goes over the edge of your door to give you some protection when you're bringing your feet in and out. Got that nice soft carpet here, and you can see that the all-weather liner does go up quite a bit underneath the well. There is some some feet prints above where I had my old floor mat, so it would have been nicer to have this actually go up a little bit more for a little bit more protection, but there is still a pretty good amount of area for your feet to go. And if we take a look at the other side here, it does have a really nice raised edge on the other side to trap in any liquids that you might get on the all-weather floor mat. And again, if you don't want the carpeting, it's very easy to take out. All you need to do is simply pull up on one of the edges, it pops off, and then continue with the other side. And now all you have is your all-weather floor mat. We can also see it's got this really nice channel that goes all the way around the outer portion of the floor mat to, again, try to channel any liquids you might spill on the all-weather floor mat so it doesn't spill out over onto your carpet. All right, and then let's install the driver's side. This goes up underneath there. Push this down behind your front seat. And it fits perfectly. Really nice. So again, we have that same rubber liner that kind of goes over the side of your door to give you some protection there. And like I said before, if you like to drive your truck without any shoes on or any socks, it's got that really nice soft carpet feel. And when you have your foot on the accelerator, your heel is resting on this really nice extra soft pad here, so you don't have to worry about fatigue. That is if you're not using FSD. I've also got some pretty big feet. If you're wondering, size 13, you can see how my shoe fits perfectly on this little footwell here. The footwell has some pretty good protection. We have a nice footrest here that your foot can rest on. We've got a little pad behind the brake here. And of course, the piece here does not go behind the accelerator, but it also does go pretty much around the accelerator to give you some protection there. We've got that really nice cushiony heel rest right here. And again, it's got a nice raised edge on the other side of the mat. And then as you can see, we've got protection in the back there as well. And then here's what the floor mat looks like without the carpeted liner. You can see that it fits around your accelerator perfectly. Got the little protection in the corner here, those nice little nubs for grip. Again, you can see how high it comes up along the side here. We have that little channel in the back here for liquids. And I think it looks really nice. And it's got a nice rubber grip as well. So now let's install the rear mats. And on the bottom of the mat here, it does have those little spikes, again, to help keep the mat in place. And it's actually pretty heavy. It would be a lot easier if you had two people to help you install this. But it also does fit perfectly in place. It's perfectly cut out, and I really do love the fact that they included these carpeted mats on here as well, because it does feel really nice. So again, here we can see, just like the other mats, we do get this little rubber edge that does protect the side of your door, and everything is fit perfectly. Everything is nicely cut out. And again, if you don't want that rear carpet, you can just easily unsnap it, and then you have the all-weather mats. So now we can see those liners a little bit better. I do really like the texturing. It's got the Cybertruck logo on the sides there. And it's got that really nice rubber feel. And it goes all the way underneath the well. And then let's install the frunk mat. So again, this mat is made of the same materials as all of the other mats. It's It's very heavy duty. It feels nice and solid. It does have a rubbery type feel. It does not feel like it's made of plastic, and it's also got that nice rubbery grip on the inside. And also on the bottom of this mat, it doesn't have any of those sharp spikes. It's nice and smooth, so it's not going to scratch up your frunk. Again, very easily goes right into your frunk. Gonna press that down into place. I have a little 3W tag here, just put that up at the top. And it fits perfectly. Again, these little ridges go over the ridges that are inside the frunk perfectly. We have this little edge here that goes all the way around the inner portion of your frunk. So if you happen to spill something in here, like from your groceries, it's going to be collected inside of the mat and it's not going to spill out over the edge, and it fits perfectly. This little piece here does not come up over where your latch goes, so you don't have to worry about that. And it just looks great. Again, if you're worried about it kind of being a little poofy, just let it sit in the sun a little bit and then put it back into your frunk, and it should be nice and relaxed. But it looks great, and I also really love that rubbery grip feel. And then here we have the sub trunk mat. This one is one of my more favorites. It's got a very high aggressive edge on the sides, but it also has a nice cutout in the middle here, and that's for the inserts that you might use for your sub trunk. It's also got kind of like a rubbery type feel. It's not that cheap plastic like some of the other inserts are. It's got these really nice raised edges that go over the raised edges in your sub trunk. It's also, again, got that really nice rubbery type grip feel. And it's got these two little raised points here that go over the nuts inside your sub trunk. On the back of this, it doesn't have any spikes or anything to help keep it in place, but it's not going to go anywhere because it's inside the trunk. So all you need to do is just simply lay this down in the back. And you're all set. It fits perfectly. Now everything's nice and protected. Okay, and then here we have the vault mat. Whew. So this mat again has the same feel and is made out of the same materials as all of the other mats do. It's got a really nice rubbery type feel to it. This mat is pretty heavy because it's made of a thicker type of rubber. It's more durable, and it should last a really long time. Another really nice thing is it's got these little kind of cutouts. If you're using the fasteners on the bottom of your bed, you can just easily cut these out and you'll still have access to those fasteners. On the bottom of the mat, it doesn't really have any really like spikes. It's got these little nubs to help keep it in place, and it's also got a rubbery type feel on the bottom of the mat as well. All right, so we'll just unfold this and then push it into place. And as you can see, it fits perfectly inside the vault. And now, when you first get it, it might have like a little bit of a bubble in it, but if you leave it out in the sun, it will relax and it'll fit beautifully. But it looks very durable and it looks great inside the vault. And now that I've let the mat sit in the sun for a little bit, you can see how much more it's relaxed, it's nice and flat, and it conforms perfectly to the Cybertruck vault. And another really nice thing is if you need to access your sub trunk, you can still do that very easily. Just lift up the back cover, and the mat kind of folds up along with it, so you can very easily still access everything in your sub trunk. I'm going to step in the snow to kind of simulate walking in the ground on the snow, and then I'm going to step right into the truck onto the floor mats to see how well it actually keeps all the water and snow inside the floor mat instead of on my truck. So I'm going to step onto the snow here, just as if I was walking through the snow. I'll get into the truck. Kind of get all that snow off my feet. So it looks like we got some snow on the mat here. It is definitely keeping my carpet water free. So I'm going to step out again, step into the snow just to get a little bit more moisture on the mats. Really grind it into my shoes and step into the mat again. You can see we got a little more snow on the mat here. On the side here, you can see that the raised edge is keeping the snow from getting over onto that edge, which is really nice. So you can see I'll put my foot up here. The carpet is protected from my boot, again, size 13, and it's got a nice covered area here. Of course, the portion that's underneath your accelerator is not going to be protected, but that's pretty much with any of these all-weather floor mats. Put a little bit more snow inside the floor mat, just to give it a little bit more moisture. Then we'll come back after the snow's melted and we'll actually see where the water has accumulated on the mat. All right, so the water has pretty much melted from me stepping in it in the snow, and you can see that the water has traveled into the channels of the floor mat. But the biggest thing is on the back here. You can see where the water has actually been trapped into that little channel and hasn't gone over the edge. Now, I will point out that in this corner over here, you can see where the water is almost going over the little lip there. And I kind of wish that these floor mats were a little bit more bolstered, maybe lift that channel up at the end just a little bit more so something like this doesn't actually happen. Now, it doesn't look like the water has breached the corner, but it's on the verge. But on the back here, you can see where the water fits perfectly into that little channel, and it's actually stopped right there. So for the most part, it's keeping the water inside the floor mat, except for this little corner right there. So another thing you might be wondering is, yes, the floor mats are grippy when they're dry, but how do they feel once they're wet? So the floor mat is still wet from the snow. I've also sprinkled a little bit more water onto the floor mat, and I'm also going to wet the bottom of my sneakers, and we're going to see how slippery it is when it's wet. So I've kind of wetted down my sneakers. We'll get in, and it's still got some pretty good grip. I'm pushing against the floor mat. It does slip a little bit, but for the most part, you can see that it does have some pretty decent grip even when it's wet. You can see now that it's actually a little bit dirty, and these sneakers really don't have a lot of grip. You can see how smooth the bottoms of the sneakers are. So if you're actually using sneakers or shoes that have more grip, like my boots, you'd actually get a little bit more grip as well. So definitely do really well even when they're wet. So we'll get out, you'll see I won't slip. We'll get back in. No slipping at all. Very nice. Now, it's not to say that the floor mats are slip-free, but for the most part, these perform pretty well. Like I showed you before, my shoes aren't slipping, and it's got some decent grip, even when they are wet. And one of the really nice things about all-weather floor mats is if they get dirty, you don't have to take them in to get them vacuumed. You just simply take them out of your truck, lay them down somewhere outside, maybe spray them down with some cleaner, maybe scrub them a little bit if they're super dirty, and then you just spray them down with some water, and usually all of the dirt will just wash right away. Then once you're done washing the mats, you can just leave them out to dry in the sun, or you can opt to dry them off with a towel. Either way, once you shake off the excess water from these floor mats, they're pretty much dry anyway, and they come out looking nice and clean for you to install right back into your Cybertruck. So now that I've had a chance to actually use the floor mats, I'm gonna let you know what I love about them and the thing that I also wish was a little bit different. Now, there are a lot of floor mats out there that are very cheap and plasticky feeling, and they're very light, and that's definitely not what you want, especially for the vault mat. When you have floor mats that are very light and plasticky feeling, they don't offer a lot of grip, they tend to move around, and especially for the vault mat, if it's very light and you're walking on it, there is a chance from it just sliding out from underneath you and causing you a lot of problems. And the thing that I absolutely love about these floor mats is they have a really good amount of weight to them. They feel nice and rubbery. They don't feel plasticky at all. And they have the perfect amount of weight. So for the frunk mat, it fits perfectly inside the frunk. I had a previous liner in there that was kind of plasticky feeling. It didn't really conform to the frunk itself, whereas this one has a really nice rubbery type feel. It's not super heavy and it just fits perfectly in place, and it's got a nice lip all the way around the frunk mat to keep in any liquid that might spill inside. Then for the front mats, they fit perfectly as well all the way around the footwell. They also have the perfect amount of weight to them. They're not really heavy. They also have these little rubbery type spikes underneath, so the mats do not move at all. And because of that rubbery type material that they're actually made out of, when they do get wet, your feet don't slip around like some of the other really plasticky liners do. I also really like the design on the floor mats as well. It helps to channel any liquids that you might have on the floor mat itself. And for the rear floor mats, it's kind of just like the front floor mats. They fit perfectly. They're also made of the same rubbery type material, so your feet don't slip even when the mats get wet. I also really like the design pattern on the floor mat because, again, it helps channel that liquid. It also does have those little rubbery type spikes to help keep the mat in place as well. And the floor mats should also work even if you're using an underbench storage bin. But I'll be covering that in a future video when I actually get the storage bin. And then for the sub trunk liner, I absolutely love this one because, again, it's made from the same great rubbery type material. It's got a nice aggressive raised edge pretty much all the way around the liner itself, but it's also cut out perfectly in the middle in case you want to use some inserts. Then for the vault mat, in my opinion, this is exactly what I was looking for. I was using a vault mat prior to this that I wasn't really happy with. It wasn't very rubbery. It was kind of made of a very plasticky type material. It also had it looked like it was kind of woven instead of a nice, smooth rubber mat. And it had the manufacturer's logo right in the middle of the back of the mat. Why do I need to have that? Whereas the 3W liner, in my opinion, is perfectly made. It's made of, again, from that same rubbery type material. It fits perfectly inside the vault. It fits over the ridges perfectly. It almost looks like it was made to be in your truck. And 3W only puts their little logo in the very left-hand corner of the back, which is perfect in my opinion. They've got cutouts perfectly aligned for the hooks in the bed if you ever need to use them. It's got a really good weight to it, so you don't ever have to worry about it slipping out of your vault, even if you're standing on it. And if you need to wash it off, you can very easily take it out of the vault and just wash it wherever you need. Another thing that I absolutely love about this floor set kit are the dual purpose inserts. Because not all year round do you actually need the all-weather floor mats. That's really for a time maybe when there's snow or slush, things like that, where it's gonna really get your floor mats dirty, not so much wet. So during the summer months, you can easily put the inserts inside the all-weather mat and enjoy the cushy feel of those inserts. And 3W also makes it very easy and seamless to take out and put the inserts in, and they also do not move around at all. They're very secure inside those all-weather liners. And if you do need to clean out the inserts, you can very easily pop them out of the liner and clean them off, dry them, and then put them right back. Like I mentioned earlier, I moved here from Florida, and there we never had to worry about snow or slush, so I always used carpeted mats, and they were always nice and comfortable, especially if I wanted to drive without any shoes on. And the inserts actually give your heel some support and decrease fatigue while you're driving. Now the one con and the one thing that I wish was a little bit different for the front and rear mats is the fact that they use a liquid channel instead of a raised edge to keep the liquid in place. As you saw from my video, depending on how much liquid you actually have on the mat, it can crest over the little liquid channel, and that could get onto your carpet. So instead of using a liquid channel like they do, I would just use a nice raised edge all the way around the mat, so you don't ever have to worry about the liquid going over the mat and onto your carpet. It's not a huge deal, but if you plan on getting a lot of water, or maybe your kids spill a lot of liquid inside this mat, it may or may not go over the mat onto your carpet. It's just something I wanted to note. I can also appreciate that the inserts that they do give you are not super thin like the ones that come with your Cybertruck. They're actually pretty thick. They do have a little nice cushion to them, especially for the driver's side. Again, it's got like those little pillow inserts to relieve the stress on your heel while you're driving. And I'm also curious what you guys think about these all-weather mats. Do you think that you would use the carpeted inserts? Do you just like all-weather mats? Let me know in the comments below. But these are really nice floor mats, and again, I absolutely love the dual design. So if you're on the fence between getting all-weather mats or carpet, this is definitely a great option for you because you get the best of both worlds. And if you guys want to pick these up yourself, I will be putting product links in the video description. And if you enjoyed the video, let me know by hitting the like button and consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.